Welcome back. Well, there's a new transportation network in town, proudly South African, and it's called Geswindt. In studio with me is the founder and CEO of Geswindt 24/7, Craig Geswindt. Good to have you with us, Craig.
Thank you very much.
Tell us about this Geswindt and how exactly it works. Is it the new Uber?
A lot of people are calling it that. We've been in South Africa now since October. We formally went live. And yeah, it works very similar. We have apps on the App Store, which you can download from Google Play and from iPhone. And we're rapidly recruiting drivers throughout South Africa. And Johannesburg is basically our flagship city. It's the busiest, and so far so good.
So is the formula the same, that you find individuals who sign on and log on and basically participate and provide other individuals with transportation services?
That's correct, yes. So we are basically providing, partnering with drivers that work for themselves basically, and we simply provide the platform for them to be able to access passengers that need that service.
What's the differentiator here? Because you've got Taxify, you've got Uber, you've got independent meter taxis.
Sure. Well, I think, first of all, we're proudly South African, so we're a South African company. We also, our rates are the best in the country. If you go to an authority like Ride.Guru, we come up on top for all our categories of vehicles. We also don't do surging, and what that means is that we don't, increase the price like twice, 3 or 4 times the actual price when there's large events like, soccer matches or even concerts and so on and so forth. And we also allow, passengers to schedule their rides way in advance for as many rides as they want. And the other thing is we are rapidly going back into development and bringing out some amazing features which I can't really divulge at this point in time.
You mentioned the cost element as well that you brought in briefly. How does this impact your margins though? Because you want to be competitive, you want to gain ground, but at the same time you need to turn a profit share.
We do, and again, that's part of our strategy and part of our inside info that I'm not really, I can't really divulge.
So there's lots bubbling under here that we're not aware of?
Yes, no, definitely.
Plans to explore outside of South Africa as well as other regions?
Most definitely. Our plans are to expand into, the SADC, and then off into Nigeria and other countries where we find that there's a need for that. And I think we've also been, well, not that I think, but we've also been getting a lot of inquiries from people in those countries for us to come there. So there's a lot of support for an underdog, I think.
Does the name not already cast a question mark that how do you launch Geswindt in Nairobi? Or will there be a Nairobi Bear?
I don't think so, but for some reason there is an association, but and I've been asked that question a lot of times, but I think the association is made afterwards. An example I like to use is Apple. When Apple first came out, people probably put a question mark around that and went, why would you call an IT company Apple? Why would you call a computer an Apple? But now it's almost like a reverse association, if you could call it that. Yeah. Regulation
is obviously one of your biggest headaches. How have you managed to learn from the lessons that Uber had?
Yeah, we're definitely learning from their mistakes. I don't think, as part of our strategy is not to be in a hurry. I think that was also part of, some of the mistakes that were made. Every country's got different regulations, and of course, that would be the first thing that we need to do. We're starting off in our own country because we understand the regulations a lot better. For example, what the driver requirements are. It's basically your license, PDP, operator license, your double discs, passenger liability, which we also, getting into the insurance as well now and offering very competitive insurance, not only to drivers, but now to passengers. So
who have you partnered with for the insurance element?
Again, it's something that I'm not able to divulge, but a very reputable company. And we're networking with a lot of private sector companies that are now starting to come to us, and as well as governmental governmental institutions that we're partnering with to be able to build other powerful revenue streams and offer them to our drivers as well, which is a very different way of incentivizing our drivers. In other words, if I can say, we're not taking investor money and burning it. So I thought I'd just mention that, yeah.
Speaking of investors, are you funding this from your pocket, or is there someone supporting you?
We're still out there looking for investors. So
you're currently the only owner of the company,
yeah.
all the equities in your hands?
That's correct, yeah. So this will be a good time for an investor to to actually think fast and move fast, because there are really exciting things happening at the moment.
We look forward to the developments when they take place. Please do inform us first. Always good to have you with us on the show, and thank you so much. All the best with your endeavors. That was Craig Geswindt, who is the founder and chief executive of Jozi Bear. Now, the online global matchmaking business opportunity network will be expanded to reach the South African audience in the first half of 2017. In studio with me is Paul Lamonteng, who is the MD of Africa One Advisors Opportunity Network South African partner, as well as a YPO member. Paul, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope I pronounced your surname correctly. My French is not so great.
You did.